how to get clients coming to you without any outreach. That's what this is all about. Getting clients can be very frustrating, and most advice will have you doing cold outreach, lots of cold outreach. And if you're anything like me, you probably hate it. Like, I remember thinking that I would rather go without clients than having to bother people all the time in their inbox or in their social media's DMs. Well, wouldn't it be nice to never send another cold email ever again? Can you imagine never needing to check your DMs ever again? If that sounds like a pipe dream, well, I haven't done any of that stuff for years. In fact, every client that I have right now, they all approach me in their own time without me needing to nudge them or encourage them whatsoever. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what I did to get to this place so that you can escape the outreach treadmill as well. It's a method I call ratcheting, and it will allow you to never have to send another cold email ever again, or even have to check your DMs again if you don't want. And you can start today. Oh, and before this video is done, I'm going to give you one simple, single phrase to help you get there faster. See, I spent years selling expensive things to affluent people. And these cold outreach methods, they barely work on these kind of people. Perfect clients will not respond to you. And the ones who do respond to you are either average or below average. See, if wealthy people want something, they just go and get it. And if they don't want something, no amount of you following them up or bothering them in their inbox is going to change that. In fact, if you want a business full of ideal clients, I would argue that the cold outreach game and following up people, that's a complete waste of valuable time that you can be using to do something else, which I'm about to share with you, that will enable people to come to you. So if you want a business where you don't have to constantly chase new clients, you need to learn about the apple tree, the seesaw, and the fire. When you send cold emails or you direct message anyone you possibly can, what you're doing is hoping to shake loose some low-hanging fruit. You're hoping to scoop up people who need what you're selling. The tree is full of fruit. There's plenty of potential customers on there. The tree is basically the potential that you've got in the marketplace. The apple tree model can be very useful to just get the ball rolling. But here's the problem with that. This model is horizontal. It's not vertical. So there's no version where this gets easier. You have to outreach forever. That's the only way this model works. So over time, what you end up doing is just getting the low-hanging fruit from one tree until it runs out of low-hanging fruit. Then you have to go to the next tree and the next tree, and you end up with, which is essentially an orchard full of trees with the low-hanging fruit missing. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. What kind of people are at the low-hanging fruit? They have an urgent need right now today. They are prepared to give you the money if you badger them. Sure, they'll get on the phone call or they'll buy your thing, but it's by your actions, the things that you're doing to get those things. Now, if you're a consultant or a coach, you need the client to want this result. You need them to be able to give as much as they can to get this result. And if all your prospects are low-hanging fruit prospects, there's a chance that a lot of your client base will be average or below average type of clients. These kind of people don't pay on time. They don't like to renew. They don't like to continue working with you. They often complain a lot and they don't necessarily get results. So those are the cons of the apple tree. Next up, seesaw. So here's where you throw some attention-grabbing stuff on social media, and then when people interact with you, you reach back out to them, you follow up with them, and you try and get them to book a call or to buy your thing. This is disguised as content marketing, but it's really just the empty calorie version of content marketing, because it's kind of the same as the apple tree. It still involves you reaching out to them and trying to get people to connect with you and to engage with you, and you're going to manually move them through the steps of know, like, and trust and get them on the phone or get them to buy your thing. So I see the seesaw and the apple tree as kind of the same thing. But let's look at the pros of the seesaw method. You're going to get results. It's a numbers game. You apply yourself every day. You do the work. You put enough things out into the world. You're going to get results. And that can be very good. I don't begrudge anybody for doing either of the apple tree method or the seesaw method. I really don't mind. You do what you need to do to pay the bills, to put food on the table, so to speak. However, the cons of this method is you still have to follow up and chase people to get the lead. Another problem with this method is people quickly become aware of your shtick. They quickly see what you're doing and they stop interacting with your stuff because they don't want to be bothered by you in social media. They don't want to be bothered in their inbox. And finally, another major problem with this method is it means you're going to be glued to social media. So I don't understand why people want to do this. They trade their time in DMs and in their inbox to try and get people to book calls with them. And they can spend every single day doing this to try and build a coaching or consulting business. As an expert, we don't want to spend our time doing that. We've got way better things to do. So there's the apple tree and there's the seesaw. Now, this next one is a game changer. This will show you how to get off the outreach treadmill. The third one is the fire. Here's where we grab a small amount of attention. Any method works. Think of it like kindling for the fire. And then we quickly transition that attention across to content that's going to generate epiphanies. Because when people are empowered to come to their own conclusions on their own, such as working with you, they will do whatever it takes to make that happen. You don't have to chase them. They will pursue you. So pros, like a fire, once it's going, it's pretty much self-sustaining. But there's cons. Without enough quality content, think of that like the big logs for the fire, you won't reach that level of self-sustain and you'll keep needing to give it attention. So there are the three main methods. Now, many marketing programs, they basically just teach you how to do number 1 and 2 because that's how you get the ball rolling. That's how you get some instant results. But you've probably done all that stuff. And like me, maybe you hate that stuff. So how do we get clients to come to us without doing that stuff then? Well, you start ratcheting. Okay, just quickly, do you get the weekly newsletter? If you're not getting it yet, pause this video, the link is below, it takes 3 seconds, and from this Saturday, you'll get useful marketing insights to grow a business that you'll actually love. No relentless hustle culture, no cold outreach, no doing anything that doesn't align with who you are. It's my free newsletter, it's called Coach Marketing Sucks. I'm super proud of it, get it with the link below. Okay, back to the video. So I looked up what ratcheting is, and it says, a part of a machine that allows movement in one direction only. That's pretty much it. So what you do is you employ a practice to get you away from the low-hanging fruit, the apple tree type stuff, and get you away from that seesaw. So we're going to ratchet towards from one to the other. So this ratcheting, this is your action plan. So if you're currently doing the apple tree method or the seesaw method, keep doing that for now. But you've got a plan. And that plan is to get away from that. And here's what you're going to do. Allow yourself a small amount of time each day or each week to deploy the methods you need to get the minimum amount of attention you need for your business right now. If you're doing cold outreach and it's bringing in some results, drop that back. Just do a little bit less of it. Just back off. Do it half as much. It's going to give you some time. And with that extra time, you create what I call epiphany triggering content. You need some pieces of content that talk to your ideal prospects about how your method works, about how what you do helps people, and about your values, your core values on like how you like to run your business. There's a few pieces of content, and I've got more videos on that, and I'll probably link to one at the end. But that content, when people can consume this, we've all done this. Like we've all decided we want something and then spent a ridiculous amount of time, probably when you're supposed to be sleeping, reading or watching videos or consuming content about that thing. And it doesn't take very long, a couple of days, until that's all we can think about. And before long, we've got the thing. We've done what it needed to do to get the thing into our possession. Whether it's a course, whether it's a product or a piece of clothing, we've all done this. All I'm suggesting you need to do is you do this with your offering, the thing you're bringing to the world. So you ratchet your time from doing a small amount of outreach. If you need to do that to get clients, as I said, I'm not going to begrudge you for doing that, just to keep things moving. But your main focus is to build this other stuff, is to get the fire burning of attention, of people transitioning across to reading and consuming and viewing your epiphany triggering content, the real good stuff that makes people want to reach out on their own. And you keep doing this. ratchet back and forward until one day the time will come where you don't have to do any outreach at all because you've built this other lead source, this organic lead source. You don't have to spend all your time in outreach anymore. Those days are behind you. It might take you some time, but things that are worth it are worth doing properly. If you want to have the kind of business where you need to constantly outreach and you like doing that stuff, keep doing it. But hey, if you like being the expert at what you do, and if you like having people come to you, and if you like not having to bother selling people anymore because they already know that you charge what you charge, they already know it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, and they already know that they want it. You don't have to do anything. You just offer it to people and they either take it or don't take it. They enroll with you or they don't. It's a far superior way to run an expert business. See, when I first entered this whole consulting, coaching world, I too wondered, how am I going to get my years of marketing experience and help into the hands of the right people? And I also was taught the same outreach stuff, but I did something that kept me moving forward. It kept me on track. I had a simple phrase, and I would ask myself this one thing at the end of each day. Okay. What did I do for future Pat today? You might think, well, that's weird talking to myself. But by simply asking the question, it would reveal if I was on the right track or not. It would reveal what side of the ratchet I was spending my time on. Was I just doing the work that would disappear in the day's social feed that I need to do again, all over again? Or was I building integral marketing assets that could be used over and over again by my prospects while I was sleeping? So before you go to sleep tonight and you reflect on today's efforts, ask yourself, what did you do for future Pat today? Just use your name instead of mine. It'll work a hell of a lot better. Ask yourself, what did you do for your future self today? See you in the next video.